Hi everyone, it's Killshot99 Gaming's The Walking Dead mid-season finale, Rick and Negan Fight. We're going to do a live episode number 8 review. We're changing the dynamic a little bit because obviously you know the big event. We've been talking about it. I called a lot of hate. You think Scott Gimple is getting hate? I called a lot of hate for the video I did last night, giving a little different perspective. But, you know, people have their opinions, and sometimes you just got to take a hard line and talk about things. Tonight, we're going to talk about something that may be controversial as well. This is your Daily Dead, the nightly Walking Dead show. We're going to be doing this every night at 9:30 p.m. And also, I do want to make one more announcement. I know a lot of you guys show up on Tuesday night for random things. This is the second week that we've sort of tabled that to talk about The Walking Dead. I mean, we've got so much to talk about with The Walking Dead. We're going to push random things back to next Tuesday, where we'll pick that up at our regularly scheduled time. If you're Walking Dead fans and you just want a little bit of a break, you want to relax, you want to talk about music, you want to talk about events, then be here next Tuesday, and we will resume our regularly scheduled program at that point. So I see a lot of people just popping in here. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all of you showing up and being a part of this stream. Your thoughts, your ideas, all your interaction is very important. And also, we are doing the 70,000 subscriber countdown. I think we're about 74 or 75 people away. We're getting so close. So we'll make an announcement on that either tomorrow. If we don't do it, we'll hit 70,000 subscribers, and then we'll do it maybe next Wednesday. But just stay tuned. You can sign up. You can subscribe if you're not subscribed, but also get the notifications. And as soon as we do it, I want all of you guys to be a part of that. So let's jump right into it, because tonight's topic is going to be really the Rick and Negan dynamic. And it's not just the fight that we saw. No question, Pete D is just throwing it out there. So, you know what, Pete? I was getting ready to do a topic, but I'm going to, first of all, I'm say thanks for the Super Chat donation. I forget to announce that sometimes. So down at the bottom, there is an emoji. There's also a $sign. If you click the $sign, you can make a donation to the channel. If you do, and you do choose to ask a question, it will highlight all the way across the board. We will stop whatever we're talking about, and I'm going to give you a shout out, and also we're going to talk about your topic. So Pete is a regular person, says, no question, just appreciate the entertainment. Well, I appreciate you being here as well, so thank you so much. Awesome stuff. So the Rick and Negan dynamic is not just about the skirmish that we saw, although we might see a little bit more of that play out. There are rumors that the all-out war will end with hand-to-hand combat between the two. We can't really say what happens in the comic, and it'll happen that way because, as we know, they're not afraid to change narrative from the comic. But what I want to talk about is, first of all, you guys know I am not a big fan of Negan. I never have been. And I know the audience is probably split. About 30% of our 999 Army are big Negan fans. They love the character. They love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I've just never been able to sort of get over the Glenn thing. So I kind of carry that baggage around with me a little bit. But I know the Negan fans wholeheartedly support what the Saviors are doing. And it has been said that if we would have seen this story through the eyes of the Saviors, we would think Rick's group is the bad group. But I do want to do a couple reminders out there. Keep in mind, the Saviors have always taken, but in their mind, they provide protection. They provide protection because they kill the walkers, they got enough people, and they just make the world a better place to live according to them. So when Rick's group came on board and first ran across some of those Saviors, we do know that Daryl, they wanted their stuff, and Daryl just kind of blew several of them up with a rocket launcher. So after that happened, it really was kind of about Negan getting back at some point with Rick. So what did Negan do? He killed a couple people, and we know the big speech, "You killed a whole lot of my men." So let me ask this question, just based on those two events, the Saviors protecting people, and then Rick's group killing some of their men and Negan killing a couple. How do you feel the balance was up to that point? So do you feel like Negan has take yourself out of, stop pretending we're part of this Alexandria group, because I think that's what happens, and we get so attached to all the people in Alexandria. Does Negan have some validation for punishing Rick's group? I'll ask that question before we move on to the next piece of this, which really is going to get down to the mid-season finale. Philomena says the Saviors are like the mob. And they're heavy recruiters. Denise Hopkins, hate Negan. Enough said. I'm right there with you. AJ Jepson says he does. Trev he says yes, of course. Joey Price, definitely. That's because Joey likes to dress up as Negan for Halloween. Joey, I know you're a Negan fan. Jonathan, don't put me on the spot with that. Jonathan Black already started. He's like, Kills, do you think Carl should die? You know what? I did a whole hour video on that last night, so you're not gonna trap me into opening that can of worms tonight. Casey says, well, the Saviors killed a lot of the men at Oceanside. True, true. But Rick didn't know that at the time. JB says Rick's group killed more than Negan's group. Okay. And I'm not asking everybody to forgive Negan or even to like Negan. Linda Batista says, I love to hate Negan. Maybe that is the, the appeal. So let's fast forward a little bit. So now that, Negan killed Spencer, that wasn't really a big loss. But Rick's fighting back. So when Rick decides to fight back, Negan's going to show up. Rick's got the scavengers. They really want to sabotage everything that's going on. And then we know how the season ended. So Rick's plan is they enlist Dwight. And it's been this back and forth. So what do they do starting out the season? Rick kills a whole lot more of his men. Here we are, back to where we were last year. They go to all these outposts and all these areas, and they just start mowing people down. And then on top of that, they completely, and by they wreck the sanctuary. Now, wasn't really Rick's plan to crash a garbage truck through the front door of the sanctuary. They were going to save some, but it's how it worked out. So it was either Rick, Daryl combination. So now they've completely wrecked their place to live. But once again, what do we focus on? We focus on Alexandria. So I don't see Negan being very creative. I see him being very retaliatory. So Rick does something, Negan retaliates. And we're concerned with Alexandria being in flames and Alexandria's gone. Well, the sanctuary's gone too. So let me ask follow-up question number 2. Was Negan justified in burning down Alexandria? Leave your thoughts. I'm going to call on a few people here. Just a special announcement, number 1, we got a couple hundred people here. If you guys could slap the like button, that would really mean a lot. Hopefully, we don't get as many dislikes as we got with the Carl video last night. Broke my heart, man. I had trouble sleeping. It's like, that's the most dislikes I've gotten in a video in several years. So, crazy, crazy stuff, at least in a year. But tonight, we're going to take a more neutral perspective, and we're going to kind of ask some of the questions. Number 2, if you aren't subscribed, then please hit that button. And number 3, if you do type a comment, people won't see your comment streaming along the side, and there are hundreds of them. I may call on you, and if I call on you, it's open territory. So watch what you say. Make sure you want to include it in a video. Maggie Bonacorta says, hell no, resources lost. Whitney says, yes, Negan is in survival mode. And he did, right? He got right in there and drove straight there. So, you tore down my house, I'm going to tear down your house. Rial says war is war. The purpose of war is to kill people and to break things. Doesn't matter. So they are in war, right? Danny Hernandez, I agree. Resources lost. But people are a resource. And Negan only wanted to kill one person. Well, he wanted to kill 2 people. He wanted to kill the person with the worst apology and also Rick in front of everybody. While I'm reading some of the comments, Chris, is it Kleitch? Sorry, Chris, I can't pronounce your last name. Says, why do I hate Negan? I can't really answer because I'm trying to stay neutral at this point. I can answer a little bit later. Remind me toward the end of the stream, because if I answer now, it's going to sort of unravel the direction I'm going with some of these leading questions, I guess. E-Beach says, they tried to kill him. Wouldn't you do the same? Great point. And at this point with Negan, it's just about killing all the leaders. We're going to kill King Ezekiel, so his people don't try anything. We're going to kill Maggie, so her people don't try anything. We're going to kill Rick, so he gets total control of all three kingdoms. And Joanna, it's a great point. At some point, everybody's got to find a way to get along, which takes me to the video I did yesterday. I'm not going to read the title of it because I got abused. Death threats for that video. So Casey says, my husband enjoys Negan, but I don't. Split. That's no, I'm not. Sorry, that didn't sound right. I'm not telling you to split up. That came out the wrong way. Your family is split. Ugh. Now I'm really going to get in trouble. So James here brings up a good point. So James Gallego says, it's okay for Rick's group to blow up Terminus, but Negan can't blow up Alexandria. It's justified. It's a new world. Westwick says Negan had no choice but to come back and blow stuff up. They tried to kill him. But it still wasn't his intention to blow stuff up. I think that was their last resource. And a little bit of the debate, you know, when Carl's talking about there's families in here, and Negan pointed out, well, there were families inside the sanctuary. Those people's lives matter. Thank you so much, Jennifer Ashley in the house from South Carolina. And we appreciate your support. Thank you so much, Jennifer. All right, so we've gotten a pretty good sampling of, you know, kind of where everybody stands. What's funny about some of the questions that I'm throwing out there right now that we're debating is if you take a step back from it and take out a little bit of the emotion, you can see some of, I know I'm going to get a little bit of venom from this too, you can see some of the beauty in the writing. I know that's hard. I know it's hard to accept with what's going on right now, but it's emotionally charged. So if the questions I'm asking are to take some of the emotion out and say, if you were Negan and you were blocked in and surrounded by walkers and people were trying to kill your men and get a surrender and you broke out, what would you do? You would react. And that's the reaction that we're getting. Now, how extreme you would react, you're going to send Simon in one direction. They came up with a plan really quickly, I do have to say. I mean, it wasted no time coming together. So they're thinking on their feet. They got the tree cut down there at the gates of Alexandria. Simon's off doing his own thing. They got the coffin there. Good stuff. So, brings me to question number 3. Wasn't it a little, I don't know if I will say odd, but for me, someone that doesn't like Negan, wasn't it a little bit refreshing that basically he was just going to Rick's house to wait for Rick, to kill Rick? So you got the impression that Negan was not there to kill everybody, that he understands people are a resource, but Rick wants to kill Negan, Negan wants to kill Rick. I still don't like him, but I like what his intention was at that point. He wasn't there to kill Carl. He really was there to end the threat, and the threat is Rick. And the threat has always been Rick, and it's always going to be Rick for Negan. I mean, he could have been out hunting people, killing people, pulling people out of their houses, destroying families, but he was there just to, as soon as Rick gets here, it's going to be a surprise. So let me ask this question. Be completely honest. What did you think about the Rick Negan sparring session? Now, we know Rick couldn't kill Negan there. There's too much story left to be told. Scott says Negan knew no one was there. And, you know, it took him out of the fight. Tommy says, Kills, do you think they'll ever show us how the Saviors got out? No, because it was Eugene and playing that loud opera music that was playing in the background you heard a little bit of. So we know that's how they got out. But I don't think they're going to go back and show the exact method of it because the story's just continued beyond it. Salem Blue says, good fight. Why is Rick such a bad fighter? That's a good point. And James Dean Love, that was great comic relief. I honestly thought that was the best line from the whole thing. Do you ever shut the hell up? Nope. I mean, that is so, it was just tongue in cheek and then just get right back to it. Which, as funny, I guess as odd and funny as that is, I'm going to get back to that 1 second. Love the fight. Don't you ever stop talking. So a lot of people like that line. Do any of you here see a world where Rick and Negan are trading one-liners? Because we saw a glimpse of it. Villar says, could have lasted longer. DP says, I hope. Stephanie says, yep. I mean, we got a lot of people here saying, AJ says, I can. Dark Angel, yes. They did with I'm Counting. Like, yes, Joanne, like Friends. Rial says, yeah, I can, but don't want to, though. So there's still a lot of violence that has to happen. You saw a little bit of the comic relief with Rick and Jadis. I mean, they throw it in there at, you know, like Gimple said. Chris Hardwick asked Gimple, and he said, did you think that some of the levity, some of the comic relief lightened the mood too much? And his response was, some of the comic relief, some of the lines can make the dark seem that much darker. Like when we saw, you know, Rosita stacking up the boxes and Tara carrying the boxes. And they've been at odds with each other, that it strengthens that bond. So you do have that moment. And I think it played out well with Rick and Jadis. I think it played out well with Negan and Rick, multiple fronts, and we'll probably see it a little bit more with the group. So the line where he said, "Are you going to make me count?" and then he shoots after him, you know, before he counts all the way down, and then this line definitely showed a different possibility for me, that a season from now, when these guys possibly, I can't even say it. It's so hard to think it and to say it, but I feel like it's going to happen. The Saviors are still going to look up to Negan, I think, to a certain degree. Rick's group is going to look up to him, but maybe they all look up to Rick and respect that, and Negan might be kind of like Rick's lieutenant. I can see Negan becoming like Abraham, and the fans liking him. But I'm going to struggle with it. I'm going to struggle with it like some of you are struggling with liking Dwight. That's going to be the hurdle I have to get over. And I'm not saying that it's impossible. It's probably very possible. You know, if I see the Whisperers out there and they're just this evil group that is worse than the Saviors, then I guess I have to choose the lesser of two evils, and I'm going to have to start to give Negan a little bit of credit. There's a couple good points here. So Denise says he's done too much. Rick will lose too much respect from Maggie. And I'm going to throw this out there again. You guys, refrain from sending me the hate mail, please. That is the importance of Carl's death. I said it last night. I said it the night before. I'm going to say it again. So for every pushback you give me of why Rick cannot make amends with Negan, I'm going to tell you because of Carl. Because it is going to be Carl's wish that this end, that this war stop. And it won't be about Rick getting Maggie's respect. It won't be about Rick satisfying Daryl's bloodlust or Morgan's crazed killing. It's going to be about honoring what Carl wants. And I tried to articulate that as best as possible the last two nights, but there's so many people that are devastated by Carl's death. It didn't matter how I said it and how I framed it. They just didn't want to hear me say it. But I'm going to say it again, that Carl's death is important. So that would be my comment, Denise, is the respect of Maggie. And it's Maggie. I don't think Maggie's ever going to accept it. I mean, this was Glenn. This was violent. But at the same time, what do you do? Exactly. Carl's like, why not? Why can't we pick strawberries? And speaking of strawberries, I've got this little strawberry looking thing on my side. No, look, hey, don't be mad. It's just it's a joke. All right. We got about 5 more minutes here, so I'm going to open it up, and I want to start to plant the seed, the strawberry seed. I'll start to plant the seed of a little bit of what we're going to discuss tomorrow night. And it is going to be it's going to be the balance and the shifting of power. What I want you to start thinking about, we'll discuss 24 hours from now, is how some of the characters go from bloodlust to not fighting, ramped up, because the writers are manipulating us. And it's okay. I don't mind being manipulated by this show. I hate being manipulated by Fear the Walking Dead. Let me say that right now. And it's only because of the coincidental nature of everything they do on Fear the Walking Dead. That type of writing bothers me. But if they're going to make me hate somebody and like somebody and hate somebody and like, I'm okay with that, because I can still make my own opinions. Like Father G. Father G, I didn't like him. I liked him a little bit. Then he betrayed Rick and Alexandria, and then I liked him a little bit. So I went back and forth with him several times. And I think this whole thing with Jesus, we loved Jesus in the beginning, and now it's like, Jesus is screwing everything up. He won't fight. He won't do anything. So we're back and forth with that. So tomorrow night, we're going to take several of the characters that are currently in kill mode. Morgan, Daryl, Tara, Maggie at this point, and we're going to talk about what pushed them to the edge and what it's going to take to get them back in, which is going to be similar to the theme that we're talking about right now. And you will see that a lot of things that we talk about over the next month are going to be centralized around the death of Carl. Not to remind you about it, not to make you hate it, but really to gain an appreciation for how big of an event this is. Glenn and Abraham's death were iconic. Carl's death changes the story. And it's impactful. So I am going to open it up. We got 2 more minutes. Anything that you guys want to type, anything that you want to ask, any random topics that you want to go into, type them right now. I'm going to spend the next couple minutes just reading some of your comments. And, you know, as always, I appreciate all of you guys just making time. These 30-minute segments we're doing every night. This is like our Daily Dead. You guys are amazing. So we will keep doing these as long as we got topics and we got The Walking Dead. So Dean Stevenson says, Kills, do you think Rick will ever read Carl's letter to him now that Alexandria is on fire? That's a good question, Dean. I don't know. I can honestly say I don't know. I'll get back to you. JB, after the season, they're going to do a time jump. Maggie's baby is going to be taking the place of Carl. I don't think it'll be that much of a time jump. I don't think 2 years is going to be enough time for Maggie's baby to take the place of Carl. And I don't know that somebody needs to take the place of Carl. You know, we talked about this last night. We don't have to have a Carl storyline. We can just have a Walking Dead storyline. But it is going to take one of the biggest, not excuses, but one of the things that I've heard the most in the last couple years since we've been doing these predictions and chats is, no, Kills, it can't happen like that because it didn't happen like that way in the comics. And when things happen like this is not Andrea's death. I heard somebody say the other day, Carl got Andrea's death. No, he didn't. Carl got Carl's death on the TV show. He didn't take it from anybody else. This is unique to him. Raiden Roach says, Kills, what are some of your favorite other TV shows? Yeah, I thought Grimm was great for a while. Blacklist. Preacher. Tried Fear the Walking Dead. I watch Fear the Walking Dead because I want to keep up with it. But it leaves a lot to be desired for me. But thanks for the question. Okay, there you go. Jasmine Holmes, unsubbed. Guess what, Jasmine? Thanks for stopping in. It'd be like walking to McDonald's and saying, I don't like Big Macs. Really? You seriously going to come in a stream and say unsubbed? You can unsub. Just do it without making an announcement. What an ass. I don't even know why I read her name. All right, moving on. Breaking Bad. Hey, we could do some Blacklist chat. I have not watched Breaking Bad. I know it's an amazing show. I will. But also, I will tell you, I did binge watch Game of Thrones. So if we are going to do a chat, it'll be leading up to Game of Thrones because I really want to get a group together and start talking about that. It's like I got everybody on Big Macs now. You know what? I got an analogy for everything. You guys should really be here for random things. If you think some of these, like if I get sidetracked and go down a different path or focus on a comment in these chats, if you haven't been on random things, just jump in there and hang out with us a little bit. All right. One more announcement that I do want to make because we got a, and I said this, I'm going to say this at the end of a couple of videos, and you guys really know from the bottom of my heart how much I love everybody in this room and the group and the network and just everything that you guys bring to the table. Amazing group of people. Thank you so much for everything that you do. We try to do shout-outs at the end of these episodes. The last couple nights we've had 600, 700, 800 people. There's no humanly way possible that I can do all those shout-outs. So a couple things I'm going to ask. Number one, when this video goes live, get over and leave some comments. I may forget a shout-out or not call your name in 2 or 3 videos. Don't think that it lessens your importance to this channel. It's all completely random. I got hundreds of names screaming up there, and I'm usually going to get about 40 or 50. So that means 60% of the people on any given stream are going to be left out in a shout-out. But eventually, I might miss you on 3 or 4, but I'll get back to you, and I'll try to keep as many of the comments going as we possibly can. So Jennifer Ashley from South Carolina, I think I'm correct. I think I remember you from earlier today. Wonder why Eugene helped Father G leave to clear his mind. I will address this, and we'll talk about Eugene later on in the week. Jennifer, Eugene's just going through a lot of different emotions and maybe even a condition where he can't sleep and he's got the conviction of stay alive, but he does have the guilt of help. Eugene is about Eugene, and we will dedicate one of the streams this week specifically to Eugene and things that's going to go down. Eugene's going to have a bullet factory later on in the second half of the season, and also I'm going to give you guys a few of the spoilers that are out there as well. So just when you think Eugene's helping Rick, he's not helping. When you think he's helping Negan, he's neutral. He gets enough leeway to keep himself alive, but I know verbiage he's Negan, but there's still some things that are going to go down with Eugene. Not saying you can give up on him. I gave up on him, but he's his own person. All right, everybody. This is shout-out time, so give me a quick 999. If you guys are watching the playback, you can go ahead and tune out now at this point because it's just going to be a couple minutes of me saying thank you to everybody. But if you are here and you do want to shout out, then give me a quick 999, and I just want to say what's up to everybody. Glenda Batista, thank you so much. Appreciate everything you do, both here, comments on the video. Glenda leaves a lot of comments on some of the videos. I don't always get a chance to respond to them, but I do read them. I try to read every single comment you guys write, so thank you so much. Brian Rooker, thanks for being here. AJ Jepson in the house. Scott, who we got? Is that Scott Kernan? Thanks, Scott. We also got eBeach72. Epic Vids, what's up, man? Paul Phelps. D. Mooney in the house. Dark Angel. Tommy Sweetass Enforcer McCandless. Steph the Cuervo Queen. Emmy Desiree Bacon. Kelsa Smile. Wayne Mom Borquette. Eric Bennett. Natufian Farmer. Joey Price, the big Negan fan. Maggie Bonacorda. Thank you so much, Maggie. Northside Queen, Danny Hernandez, Brian Clayton, Clinton Brown, what's up? Carlos Andrade. Brene, DJ Flexmaster 79, Alicia James is here. My man, the Hippo, what's up, Hippo? KCF. I was not suggesting a split. Please, if your husband is watching, you make sure that you get me off the hook with that, Casey. Also, Mandy Watts, thank you so much. Sarah Naruski, Sheila Beasley, Raiden Roach, thank you for your participation and your comments. Salem Blue, Gene Atkins. Carol Weaver, thank you so much. Golfer 2020. Mike, the real Rick Grimes. What's up, man? Thank you so much. April Russell, Pat Senzone. Buffy Batcave, also here. Grimes Girl, is like a popsicle on a hot summer day. Awkward Angel, what's going on? Awkward Angel, you're going to have to ask that question in one of the random things videos. Who else we got here? Easy Man. What's up, Easy Man? Lindsay Luke. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Trev Heath, 1973. What's going on? Thank you so much. Also, if you guys want to drop a line during the week, you got a spoiler, you got some information, I can't always respond right away, but I know a lot of you guys, Vonda Martin, thank you so much, Vonda. Vonda sent me a message on Kick the other day, just some good Walking Dead theories. If you guys do want to follow, I guess not follow, whatever, you don't follow people. If you want to message me on Kick, it's KILZHOT. You can just send me a quick line and say, hey, Kills, I thought about this while I was eating breakfast, and this could happen. I love to hear your thoughts. I love to see what direction you think the show is going to go. So, we're all in this thing together. So thank you so much. You know what? That is some high praise. Lindsay Luke says Kills should be on The Talking Dead. You mean like as a guest, or you mean like just moving Chris out of the way and taking his role? Specify, Lindsay. Let me know what you're talking about there. Best channel ever. You guys are killing me, man. This is high praise. Working Dead, what's going on? Thanks for being here. Dean Stevenson. Angus Johnson, you were super late. This video is ending, and now you're going to have to go back and watch the playback. But I did give you a shout out. Houston, definitely poor Carl, man. I don't think there's a spy. I think we've moved beyond all the spies. Enid made a big mistake at Oceanside. Dwight's not a spy. I think it's just going to play out the way it plays out. Daniel Salazar, thanks, man. All right, everybody. I know I definitely missed a couple shout-outs, but thank you so much. Appreciate all of you guys being here. Be back tomorrow at 9:30. As I said before, we got a countdown. We're so close to 70,000. If we hit it tomorrow, we're still going to do a regular Walking Dead themed video. But maybe Thursday. If not, then sometime next week we will do the official. We're going to hype it up. We're going to give away some gift cards, iTunes cards, Google Play cards, just some things that you guys can use. A chance for me to give some stuff back to all of you guys. Thank you. Appreciate everything you guys do, and I will talk to you tomorrow night. Peace.